and all that. Hi.
No,
Are
I'm
you going
good.
live on your channel?
Hi.
You're all ready to
I
go?
did.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very
I hope
cool.
there's no thanks, Jan. I hope there's no delay or anything because I don't know, the internet's been so weird lately.
Hello, Troy Sutton. Yeah, it was a little something, but not too bad. Yeah, it shows we have 10 people in here right now. So thank you to you guys who
That's
shared this out.
wonderful.
I appreciate it. Hello, Ariella, Viking, Venture and Victuals. Long time no see. Hello, hello. Welcome in Joe with Grow Big TV and Lori from Lori's World. Hello, hello. Hi,
Hey, Joe.
guys. So
Hey,
Tina
Lori's
and
World. Hey,
I have
Jan.
been going live once a week with my other channel, Broken Hearts Ministry, because I'm trying to get watch hours for that channel. So we've been going live a lot, but she hasn't actually been on this channel. So I wanted to have her up for an interview. And if I have some moderators, if you guys will put up the link for Life in the Piedmont Homestead. Also, if you would put up Tella's Treasures, and that is her sister. If y'all can look that up, it's TALLAS Treasures. And put those two links up in the chat so you guys can make friends with them if you're not already. Hello, Ryan Brimmer. Welcome
Oh,
in.
thank you.
Hello,
Actually,
Ralph.
she just put
Hello,
a new video up. Give me 1 second. I think I have my TV on pause, but sometimes because I stream, it messes up things. So I'm going to go turn it completely off. I'll be right back.
All right. No problem. So looks like I might have someone new joining the Garden Tour Club. There's about 18 videos in the Garden Tour Club for April already, and we're only on like day 8. So that's pretty good. Hello, Suburban Hillbilly. Let's see what. Yeah, I'm going to do dinner after this today. So I think we're going to do tacos for dinner tonight. So hello, the Bud Files. Welcome in. And remember, guys, you can type Dolphin in the chat to drop your link at any time during the chat.
Thank you. Sorry, I think that might be better now.
Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And I believe Tina is live on her channel too. So
yeah,
if you have 2 devices, that'd be awesome. If you could help us both out, that'd be cool.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. So I wrote down some questions for you.
My goodness, Gail.
Yeah. I know, right? Well, this is usually one notebook page is usually about an hour.
That's fine.
Again, depending on how much chitter chat you got going is how long it goes over the hour.
Well, you know what? Supper is done here. Husband's plate is made. Son's plate is made. So when they're ready to eat, they can come and get it.
That's awesome.
And we're good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So my first question is,
yes.
Why did you start your YouTube channel? Like, what was your inspiration, or did a situation happen that led you to that? Because I got a work injury and I was just kind of at home bored and lonely. So that's why I started mine. That's my story.
Well, I saw my friends that live in Texas. They started one just kind of documenting things that they go do on their weekends. They live over in McKinney, Texas. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I can't believe you guys did that. I had been thinking about doing it just to start documenting things so I can have something to reflect back on if I need to, right? It's there. So, and it just started, and I just started doing it like a year or so ago, I guess. So yeah, that's basically why I got started, was just to document things. And then I started meeting different people in different channels and really didn't have any idea what I was doing, to be honest with you, in that respect when it came to YouTube. Yeah. But yeah,
I look up my own recipes on my own videos. So it's actually documentation of my recipes too.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's easier than finding it in your recipe thing. Sometimes it's easier to look it up. Welcome in My Alabama Farm Life and Taz Adventures.
Hey, Kathleen. Hey, Taz Adventures. Thanks for being here.
And I was going to ask you next how long you've been on YouTube, but you just said a year.
I think it's just a little over a year.
Yeah, you just answered that question.
Yeah.
And if you guys would share this out on your community tab to get a few more people in here, that would be really awesome. Like at the beginning, before I started YouTube, before I started a YouTube channel, I was watching like Becky's Homestead and Homestead Tessie and some prepping channels, which led into homesteading channels. Was there like a channel that was kind of like the channel you watched before you started your YouTube channel? Like, oh, I'm a fan of this channel before I started my YouTube channel. Do you have
Actually, I was everybody may know her, but actually I was a fan of Patera at Appalachia Homestead.
Oh, I've heard of that channel.
She did a lot of homesteading with animals and, you know, different types of things. And I didn't have a lot of time to really watch YouTube. I was working and running my shop at the time. And then some of the other channels that I enjoyed watching really had to do with homemaking and that type of thing. And I thought that was a very interesting topic.
I started with chickens, getting my chickens. And then I ended up with Becky's Homestead, which led into Homestead Tessie, which led into Preppers, which led into Homesteaders. Yeah. That was my journey.
That's awesome.
Hello, K&K Crochet, and welcome in Dee's Adventures. Hello, Deanna. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, there really wasn't one specific channel that I was like, oh, I want to be like that, or no, not really.
Hello, Lewis Acre Farm. Welcome in. What kind of animals do you have on your homestead?
We have 2 goats. Those are wethers, and they're Nigerian dwarfs. Peter does not look like a Nigerian dwarf. He is way too fat. He eats everything and doesn't let his brother hardly eat, it seems like. And then we have chickens. And that was one of the things when we moved here to our property, I think it was like 8 years ago, I wanted chickens and goats. And that's where I started, with chickens and goats in my garden. I started gardening at my last place, just experimenting. And then when we bought the property, I expanded my garden. And then when I started my business, I shrunk my garden. And now I expanded my garden again.
Yeah. I've been gardening ever since I've been in this house. Now, when I very first started gardening, I started in ground, but it was so hard to keep up.
Me too.
As I continued with my journey of learning more about gardening on YouTube, I decided I really prefer raised beds and containers.
Me too.
It's easier for weed maintenance. So that's
absolutely. And it's easier if you have any type of health condition that prevents you from getting down on your hands and knees, or however. Just the raised beds are just, and I use a lot of grow bags. So grow bags and raised beds.
I haven't tried the grow bags yet, but I have some on my Amazon wish list. I am going to invest in some. It might be for 2025. Thank you to you guys who shared. I did see that in the comment section. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you. Hey, Heather. Hey, tell us treasures.
So how long have you been gardening?
So I tried a little bit of it when I lived in California, but I didn't have the time. I was raising my children and working full time in the schools. And it wasn't until I moved to the East Coast. And I've been here. How long have I been here? 17 years, 18 years. And I really started, to be honest with you, I really started gardening after my diagnosis of Lyme disease.
Oh, wow.
That was a really rough journey for me.
Wow. I didn't know that you had that diagnosis before.
Yeah, okay. For me, it was bad. I know people who had it worse, but it truly affected my life for many, many years. And praise the Lord, really? I am on the other side of it. And I do have flare-ups, but nothing like what I went through.
And hi, Cher with Tell Us Treasures. Welcome in, guys.
Yeah, she put a new video up today. I have to go watch it.
I watched it, commented on it, shared it, and texted it to a friend.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, everybody.
I tried to do that right away, and Heather shared it as well. So that's
thank you, Heather.
Who is there, like, When I was a kid, I used to watch my dad garden. Did you have a family member that was kind of like your, maybe somebody you looked up to and you're like, oh, I have to do gardening because they were doing it? Like, I wish I had paid attention more to my dad, because I'm sure he knew a lot of stuff that I wish I could use now, some old school gardening
So
methods.
quite honestly, my parents and my grandparents, they always grew just your basic tomatoes and rhubarb plants and stuff like that. So I really wasn't around gardening a lot. And everything that I know now and I continue to learn has been through reading or just trial and error and asking questions and getting connected to people who have more wisdom than I do that can share some of it with me.
Can you guys put up the link for Crafting Cake with Billy? She is a crafting channel, so she's not normally in here. So if you guys would put up her her link in the chat to go make friends with her. So she's somebody we're not used to seeing in all the chats. So please.
That's great. Well, welcome in. Glad you're here, Crafting Cake. So yeah, if you go to my channel, aside from gardening, you'll see a lot of cooking videos and canning videos and that. That came from my grandmother and my mother, mostly my grandmother. I mean, I was raised and, we never ate out. Everything was cooked from scratch. My sister can say it as well. When we came home from school, there were things that we had to do because my mom worked full time and we had to prep certain things for dinner, whether that was making a salad or whatever the case is. So, but my cooking and baking really is an inspiration from my grandmother and my mom.
That's awesome. Yeah, my mom taught me how to cook.
Yeah.
I knew how to cook a few things when I left home, but I did call her my first few years.
Of course.
After I left home, asking her, how do you do this? How do you do that? And stuff. And can you send me the recipe for this?
Right. I think we all do that, just to double check ourselves. So
I've adapted some of her recipes to my own liking, but they are really good recipes.
That's
So
great.
I've kind of adapted them a little bit, some of them. But
that's wonderful.
Really basic recipes anyway. So
yeah, I have all my grandmothers. When she passed away, I took all the recipes.
That's cool. My mom made me a recipe box. It's like a metal one with index cards.
Yeah, I have that.
All of our basic recipes. And then I've added all the things that I've tried with YouTube for my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I've already made all of my basic recipes, right?
That's great.
On this channel. So I had to start looking up recipes.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have everything, so I would have to change and adapt the recipe to what I have here in the house, which made it more like my own recipe. So
right.
What have you got started in your garden for this year, for 2024?
Oh, okay. So, today I just planted peas, the ones that I started in the paper towel method. Those were sprouting all over the place. So I got those finally in today. I have cilantro. I have lettuce, radishes, carrots. I just planted my potatoes. Basil. And basil. What else did I plant? Basil. Did I say cilantro?
Yeah, you did.
Yep. And I said lettuce, right? Oh, and I have some, and celery. Yep.
I need to go harvest some of my cilantro. What I do with my cilantro is I cut it, I bring it inside and wash it, and I actually set it up in ice cube trays.
Yeah.
And I put so much in each one because I have this dip that I make. So I have it in there, and you can also use it for soup. So if you're using it for soup, you just drop an ice cube or two in the soup and use the water. But if you're making like a dip, you could thaw out a couple of them, however much you need, and then drain the water out of it and use it. And it doesn't matter about the consistency if you're putting it in a dip,
I love cilantro. It's one of my favorite herbs to have. I can just smell it and be happy.
It seems like something that people either love it or they hate it.
Right.
So funny. Yeah. Thank you so much, Heather.
Well, my goal this year, and I did some of it last year, and I used the last of my basil So my goal is when I grow it, I'm not, aside from eating it, I'm also dehydrating it and preserving it so I don't have to buy these herbs over the next year. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
I
So,
want to try to dehydrate enough parsley so that I don't have
yeah.
to buy any, that I can use
Right.
my own dehydrated parsley.
Yep. Yep.
That's my goal for this year. It's not like
And
a huge goal, but but
and
I
that's
also
what
want
mine
to get
is.
enough deal to make a half-gallon size thing of a powdered ranch dressing, because it's healthier if you make your own.
Exactly. Because you
I
know
want to
what's going
make it.
into it.
And it's so easy just to scoop out what you need for a dip or a recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And are you growing anything new in your garden this year?
Yes. I'm going to grow. Well, we'll see if they grow. I'm going to attempt to grow loofah. I started 2 of those seeds today, and actually sunflowers for the first time, which are
It's your first
completely,
sunflower.
they germinated and they're growing. And I was like, whoa. So yeah.
Well, Grow Big TV is having this awesome challenge with all
Yeah.
these plants.
Mm-hmm.
Grow Big 24. And so I'm gonna look at my paper so I can remember and I don't miss anything. I know I wrote it down somewhere on tonight's list. Okay. Zucchini, Peter peppers, beets, watermelon radishes, mammoth sunflowers, and Dr. Wojcicki's tomatoes. The first prize is $100, and the second and third prize is seeds. And that is put on by Grow Big TV. And if I have a moderator, if you guys would put Grow Big TV link in the chat, and also I made a little tiny video showing and it has all the registration videos in it. It's called Grow Big 24. If y'all will link that little video that I made advertising Joe's collaborations, if you'll link that where people can go by and check that out. So if you want to win $100, there's not that many people entered yet. So you have a really good chance.
I watched it this morning. I watched his videos on it this morning, him and Corky, on how to enter. And I decided to do the mammoth sunflower and the Black Beauty zucchini. And I have the mammoth sunflower seeds. I'm not sure if I have Black Beauty. And if not, that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and buy those if I can find them. Or I'll find something else. I'm not sure. So yeah.
Really cool. I bet you made a really cool one.
Yeah. Jan, if you need loofah seeds, let me know. I have 2 packs of them and I will be more than happy to share with you.
Awesome. Yes. Crafting Cake with Billy. She is a really awesome paper crafter. So if you like that kind of stuff, she is super talented, and she has a really cool she shed. And I have been working so hard in my craft room to make it look nice. I finished the ministry closet.
That's awesome, Gail.
Today, I was done with that. So today I actually got to work on the room itself. So everything in the room is going to be crafting, and everything in the ministry closet is going to be for ministry. So I still need to get a shelf to put in there just to say nice and organized, but I can actually get back to crafting again as soon as I can see my table, because it's pretty cluttery right now.
That's awesome.
And I'm never going to let it get that way again. That's terrible.
I saw somebody ask me if I craft. Is that a question? I don't want to skip ahead.
Oh,
I think Milk and Honey Heritage Farms had asked.
Well, she's skipping ahead on my questions is what she's doing.
Oh, well, I'm not going to answer her until you ask me this.
That is one of my questions. Okay. So what are your plans for 2024 for your channel? Hello, Just Jason Keto.
So my plans are to continue to grow my channel, hopefully get my watch hours in, and get monetized. That's my goal. And hopefully I'll be able to continue to teach people the knowledge that I have and can pass it on, to other people who may drop into my channel. Everybody has different things that they do and how they do them, so yeah. That's my goal right now.
Yeah, those are good goals. And my goal for this channel is to reach my 3K by December. And my goal for my ministry channel is to get it monetized for the homeless ministry. So
yes, that's awesome. She has such a great ministry.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I
I
feel
like
so
it.
good and organized now that everything's all pretty
Right,
and nice.
right.
So tell us about your current collaboration you're doing
Yes.
right now. Tell everybody in the chat what you're doing with that.
Yes. Well, I am going to be starting a collaboration called hashtag Grow It, Cook It. And what that basically is that we, instead of going farm to table, because everybody seems to use that term, um, it's going to be, what do you grow in your garden? Film how you're harvesting it and cook with it and make a video of it. Tag my channel, Life in the Piedmont, and use the hashtag Grow It, Cook It, and you'll be added to a playlist. And there'll probably be a giveaway or two at the end of the collab. And it's going to really run from next month. I'm waiting for things to get going in my garden. So from May until the end of the season. It's going to be a couple months long. So you can do a weekly, you can do a monthly, whatever is works for you and best in your schedule.
Yeah, I do have an intention to get a couple of videos out on that.
Yep.
Definitely.
Me too, as soon as I can harvest some things.
So this is the
Hey,
question
Christy.
that Heather was talking about.
Yes.
Other than gardening, what kind of hobbies do you have? Like sewing, hunting, fishing, crafts, anything like that? Do you do any of that stuff?
So yes, I enjoy reading. I am a book influencer for a couple of authors, and I do read and review books for some authors. And so I don't have a lot of time to craft and sew. I guess if I really wanted to, I could, but I do know how to sew. I do know how to quilt, and I know how to crochet, and I do know how to cross stitch, and I do all of that. Sometimes I get more in the mood to be crafty towards the holidays.
Yeah.
But I need to get crafty now because I'm always in craft shows during the holidays. So yeah, those are my things. Those are my crafts and those things that I do. And my other hobbies are really, if you want to call it a hobby, I think I even said it the other day. I love going to Antietam Battlefield. Don't ask me why. I have a lot of peace when I go and sit in this historical church called Dunker Church. And I'm blessed to be nearby it. And it's a hobby of mine just to go sit there. Is that a hobby?
I don't know. I like to go to aquariums and sit on the bench and watch the whales and the dolphins and the eel and all the ocean type animals. That to me is very relaxing and very thin. Like I could just sit there a couple of hours and just watch.
And that's how I am with the Battlefield, the exact same way. I just told my husband, I'm like, hey, you need to take me there again. I have this need to go. So yeah.
It's actually raining outside right now.
It's cloudy here. We're supposed to get some rain. When I was out in the garden this afternoon, it was 77 here today. It was so warm.
Yeah, it was just kind of like dreary and wet and just, I don't know. I mean, I'm not complaining. My garden certainly needs it. The plants seem to be growing really slowly, and that's probably because I'm looking at them every day.
Yes.
Hoping they'll grow a couple of inches overnight. But the only thing that seems to be growing a couple of inches overnight is some of those mammoth sunflowers. It is going to be a crazy, crazy mess. I have 2 areas of mammoth sunflowers, and I have one section that has velvet queen sunflowers, teddy bear sunflowers, Mexican sunflowers, and mammoth sunflowers.
That's awesome.
And then another area that has the mammoth sunflowers and then the teddy bear sunflowers in the front.
That's awesome. I have, when I was out there redesigning my garden, I still have it. It's, what are they? They're like those long wooden log posts that are round. I don't know and I have several of them throughout my garden to keep bunny rabbits away. Well, I was moving things around and I didn't need it where it was at because I extended. So when I lift it up, it has this really nice trench lane just right down there. And the soil needs some amending. So I think I'm going to use that to plant some of my mammoth sunflowers there because it'll be ideal spot.
They're really not they're really not that picky about the soil. They're really not that picky. Now, that one area over there, I did add some amendments to that soil because I was doing it for a challenge.
Okay.
But the other area, I didn't amend it at all. So we're going to be able to see the difference directly on, and I don't normally do that for flowers. I normally save my amending really nice stuff for vegetables. But since it's for a challenge, now of all the 6 that's going on, I'm doing 5 out of 6 of the challenges for Grow Big 24.
Oh my goodness.
What I don't have is the radishes. Well, I made a little tiny 1 or 2 minute video for the entry. And then when I do an update, I'm going to do them all together.
Okay. Okay.
And then if I do the harvest, I can do that all together. Well, no, I'll have to do that as I go. Anyway, that'll just be little short videos. But I made a little playlist so that Joe and Courtney could go over there and look at everything. And it's all in a nice, neat little place.
Got ya.
Be able to check that out. But how many kids do you have?
I have 3 adult children. 1 still lives with us, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 grandchildren.
That's just not a question we go around asking each other all the time. So I never do know. I'm like, how many kids do they have? Yeah. I'm just always curious. Yeah. I have 2 stepdaughters is what I have.
That's great. And I've been married for 34 years.
34 years. I've been married for 9 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh, how long have you been canning?
Oh, for a while. I started young. I remember going with my grandmother, and she taught me how to do pickles. And I would help her like do jams, but I didn't get into it until like 16, 17 years ago. Like everything really, once I got Lyme, like that changed everything. How I wanted to, I wasn't 100%, but just, it changed my outlook about food and where it comes from, because I had to be so strict when I was diagnosed, and I failed miserably at times on it, but that's where it kind of started about 16 years ago.
Can I make your sister a mod? Let me just check real quick. Keep talking.
Yeah, my sister's a mod on my channel where she is.
Okay. I thought maybe
she just put my link up onto my channels.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherry.
I thought she was trying to put up links on my channel and not be a mod, and I was going to go over there and make her a mod. I was like,
oh, you're so kind. Thank you. Thank you. So probably about 16, 17 years. Hey, Tammy, Mountain Grandma.
Wow. You have a lot more experience than me. I'm kind of a newbie.
I think you do a fine job. Hey, the important thing is that you're doing it. We all have to start somewhere, right?
Just keep going. Just keep beginning. Yeah. If I get enough pickling cucumbers this summer, I'm going to try pickles.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. It's not something I can. I'll tell you, my grandmother, she kind of did a cheat way, semi-homemade. Let's call it semi-homemade. Literally, we would go to what we may now know called Big Lots, but in California, it was called Pick and Save. Anyhow, they always carried these big, huge jars of Vlasic pickles. And it had to be, Sherry, can you remind me, it was the spears or the whole pickles? I think they were, I'm not sure, but we would take those. She taught me you would take those, we would slice them, and we would stuff the inside of it with like a dry mustard and a horseradish, fold it back up, put it back into the jar, and then let it sit in the refrigerator for about 7 days. And then you would have a refrigerated pickle.
I've heard of refrigerator pickle where you don't actually can them. You just put them in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Hello, Christy Betts. Welcome in.
Yeah. And the problem, it's when you're just know there's a chance that when you do pickles, they may come out a little soggier than you want, because remember the process is you're actually cooking the pickle. When it goes into the canner, you're actually cooking that. And I know there's a thing to help keep them crispy, but I haven't done them in a while, so it's okay.
Carol, you don't see anything under that hashtag because no one has posted under it yet.
Yeah.
Now, once people start posting under a hashtag, then it will be, and she hasn't made a little video explaining it either. So that's why you're not finding anything there under that. But it is.
That's on my list this week to do, is make a short video about it. And then I'll put the hashtag in there.
So I started last year making a video on upcoming collabs every Thursday, and I put that out at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But also to help you guys, I also started putting those open collaborations into a playlist. So all of the registration videos for Grow Big 24, all the registration videos.
Yeah. Hey, if you're a mod there, can you all take this person and remove him from the chat, please?
I don't see anything.
Jack Anderson.
Oh,
I don't know who they are.
Maybe it's on your channel.
So
I don't see anything. Huh. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, I don't know who the person is, and I don't need that on the channel either. Do you know what I mean? Yep.
Yeah.
So there the person is. Okay. That's not okay to be here.
Yeah. I don't know whose channel they're on, but if one of the mods would take out those comments, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and just remove the person, block them or something.
Do what you got to do, guys. Let's see. Next question. Does anyone have any questions for Tina? If you do, put those questions in all caps, and we'll be trying to look for those. Sorry if we missed anything in the chat because we're trying to take care of a troll. Let's see. Going to the next question. Oh, this was Heather's question from Milk and Honey Heritage Farms. Do you have an unusual skill, that something that you do that not really anyone else can do? Like, juggling. Like my superpower would be like couponing or something. Do you have any skills like that that's kind of like different from what other people would have? That was Heather's question.
Yeah, my superpower is that I'm a special education teacher for over 20 years. That's my superpower. And I work with emotional disability kids and still do to this day. There's my superpower.
I was a paraprofessional for 3 years.
Right. My sister did the same thing.
That's the job that I went out on an injury with.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it.
Okay, so this is another question from Heather.
Yep.
Do you have any short or long-term goals for gardening, preserving, or learning?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Do you have any short-term or long-term goals for gardening, preserving, or learning?
So my goals are to can as much as possible. I have things in my freezer that need to be processed and canned. I need to render tallow. I have more cranberries to can. So my canning is a yearly thing. Like I try to can throughout the whole entire year. As for my garden, I just expanded it. Therefore, I'm going to be growing a lot more. I pray the Lord blesses me with a nice harvest this year so I can preserve a lot more than normal this year.
Yeah, that'll be.
And if I don't, if that doesn't happen like last year because of just the rodents and stuff that got into there and the deer, I have resources up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, up there where I can go and get some really nice produce and stuff to can and to process here. My other goal is to be making hot sauces this year. That's one of the things.
Thank you, Susan and Ariella.
That would be one of the reasons why I'm trying to grow so many of the different variety of peppers this year, is to make some hot sauce. I really want to try and be able to give some of that away as gifts this year. So we'll see what happens.
Living my
Thanks
best
for
life.
asking.
That's Echo. Welcome in, Echo. Sorry, I meant to say something to you earlier, but she was talking, then I forgot, and then I remembered again. So sorry, a little absent-minded sometimes.
You're fine. I understand.
So
okay.
When you get stressed out, what kind of activity do you do to just kind of calm yourself? Because I know mine, one of them is gardening. And I know I'm really, really upset if I go out in the garden and I'm still upset. That's like a really bad day. If I can go in the garden and that doesn't help me, that's a really bad day.
So I do two things. I clean and I pray.
Yeah.
Pray and clean. Those are the two things that I do.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Stressed.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
Yep.
I always feel like I know this is, I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I know what I feel like when something bad happens in my life, like there's something I need to correct. And so I like listen to my Christian music, listen to someone read the Bible or do a Bible study. I feel like I need to get in the Word to fix whatever's upsetting me at the time. I feel like if I'm getting upset, I'm not close enough to Him. So I need to work on that. So I'm always, up and down off of that going, okay, I need to correct this, but I try to correct it in a positive way. And I listen to a lot of Christian music. On my Broken Hearts Ministry channel, I actually have a playlist of songs, of Christian songs that I like to listen to. So if you're interested in checking that out, you can see what kind of Christian music you like to listen to. And there's a playlist on Broken Hearts Ministry.
One of the things, adding to what you were saying, is that depending on what the situation is of what you're going through, and you're saying that you need to correct it or whatever it may be, I always go to the Bible, the Concordian in the back, right? And I try and find those key words of things that are troubling me, because those words have scriptures next to them. Okay, so I will flip through the Bible and start reading those scriptures until something like really speaks to my heart. And when I find that scripture, I know God's showing it to me. And it's one of those things where it's just like, then that's what I need to be praying over. Whether it's, Lord, can you just take this from me? Take these feelings away from me. Take these thoughts, because I know they're not of you. Because Lord, your word tells me that I'm healed and that I am, the daughter of a king, that I'm a saint because your blood was shed and paid the price for my sin. And I fall short on that every single day.
Yeah.
So I have to go and remind myself every single day.
Yeah. I'm definitely not a perfect person. I've never, ever called myself perfect. No. I am beautifully, imperfectly made.
Yeah.
And I believe we're all made by God, and we're all equally made, but we were all made by God. We all have the same Father. That's the way I see it.
Yes.
There's no lines drawn.
No.
We're all His children, and
that's right.
We all have value. We all definitely have value. So
yeah.
If you need a place to come for love, this is it. Okay. I try to love everyone. I try to help everyone. I try to live my YouTube life like I live my real life. It needs to be, you need to be the same everywhere, the same at church, the same on YouTube, the same in your house. You need to be the same person everywhere.
Oh, Christy, I'm so sorry. It is so hard to lose our pets. Hey, Tuber Chat, welcome in. Yeah, so
hey, I'm trying to
So
She'll be back in a minute, I think is what she's trying to
Yeah,
say.
Thursday starts our women's group again, and we're studying the book of Hebrews. So we'll see how that is. So do I, Heather, but still sing. It doesn't matter. Still sing.
Yeah.
Sing unto the Lord. That's what I say. You know.
I do sing to myself. Sometimes I'll pull up music and sing to it. Sometimes I just sing to myself. I'll just get songs in my head. One of my favorite songs is Waymaker.
Yes. Yes.
And one of my other favorite song, that was my last favorite song, but my current favorite song is called Gratitude by Brandon Lake. And it's just a really powerful worship song. And I try to just like have church in my kitchen. Sometimes I'll sit down here at the tray and I'll have church here, and I'll just try to do my Bible study, listen to Christian music, read the Bible, do all the things, and sometimes I'll incorporate listening to literature and more with Kathleen because she reads the Bible.
Yes, she does. But I listen to your husband, Taz, over at Broken Hearts Ministries as well. So
yes, he's been doing a daily devotional for about 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
And he's graciously offered for me to be able to post them on Broken Hearts Ministry. They are technically the same video. He just has like an intro and outro on his, and I've just shoot out the straight footage because I'm not real good at editing things on the computer. I could learn. Okay. It just takes longer, and I'm kind of like very impatient. And so I like doing things that are easy, not
yeah, absolutely.
Once I learn something, I kind of stay there. Like changing my editing program would be really hard for me because I've already learned the one I have.
I know.
And I don't know if I want to relearn.
That's exactly how I am.
Oh, so sad.
I know, Christy.
Yes.
My sister is a good one, Christy, to talk to. She is very gifted with that because she's had her fair share of loss as well.
Yeah, I lost my Princess Leia to feline leukemia a few years ago. So very sad. It is sad. Jan said you did a good devotional today.
Tell her thank you.
He said thank you.
I got a white baby girl.
Let's see. Oh, I did that one. I'm marking them off as I go along. What is your favorite easy meal at the house? Something you can throw together that's good, but your family loves it, and it's just so easy.
Like my own little hamburger helper with like macaroni and cheese and ground beef.
Hey, that sounds good.
And then like a side salad or vegetable.
Sounds like a crowd pleaser.
It is.
Yeah, I watched Heather do her homemade hamburger helper one day, and so I gave that a try after I watched her do it, and it tasted a lot like it tasted. I mean, I just put what I thought it needed in there, and it was like a really good hamburger helper, if not slightly better.
And it's easy to do. I mean, it's not it's not so bad. It's not hard. I mean,
yes, Waymaker is a beautiful song, and it says everything we need to hear. He's the miracle worker. Yeah, I have a sick kitty right now myself, but I'm not talking about it because I don't want to sit here and cry. So, yeah. And that's a current situation. So, Joe with Grow Big TV wanted to know if you had a family dog growing up.
Oh, we are a big dog family growing up. We had small dogs. My mom loved small dogs. Although my dad had a German Shepherd named Shotzi. That was a good dog. And then I think Shotzi got out one night and we never found Shotzi again. So yes, we've had
Jan.
Princess, Tiffany, Gidget, and these are like little poodles and Shih Tzus. Mm-hmm. Those are the dogs. I did have a cat that I found in the 3rd grade walking home from school. It had a hole in its side. and I brought her home, and we got to keep her, and she had kittens. So we called her Mama Kitty, and she used to sleep with me. You know, cats are usually really independent, but not this one. She used to sleep with me and give me a little lick, like on the face, like a dog would. She used to do that.
Aww.
Sadly, the Doberman Pinscher got out, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, and my mom, I wasn't living at home at the time, so this is how old the cat was, and yeah.
Yeah, they get older and then they can't get away.
Yeah.
Also, Joe wanted to ask if you used to feed your dog under the table.
Absolutely, Joe. Who didn't?
His question.
I love your question, Joe. It's a great question. You know, back in the day, you were made to sit up at the table and eat your dinner, right? We weren't catered to as children, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
Eat it or you go to bed hungry. You ate what was in front of you, and eating your vegetables was part of it. So when mom and dad weren't looking and you were sitting there crying, you'd call the dog over. I mean, if the dog didn't eat it, you know the vegetable wasn't good.
Ooh, yeah. If the dog didn't eat it, that's you're really in trouble then if the dog didn't eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
My mom's statement was, I am not a short order cook. I will try to make at least one or two things each person will like. But if you don't like that third thing, just don't eat it. Now, I had to eat tuna roll-ups. That was not my favorite thing. And I had to eat tuna casserole. I like tuna salad. I'm just not a huge fan on hot tuna for some reason. But I ate it because that's what was there that she made. And I didn't complain. I just ate it. But I mean, I guess
Suburban Hillbilly. Thanks for coming in.
Heather wants to know what type of music you like.
So that's a really tough question for me. So if I'm driving long distance, I have satellite radio, and I'll be honest with you, I can jam out to my 70s disco music, but I'm also an 80s girl, but I don't really listen to that as only in the car. If I'm at home, it's usually Christian music at home.
Yeah.
So
back in the old days, I used to listen to some country, and I do occasionally still listen to that a little bit in the car.
Yeah.
But at home, mostly I pull up Christian music because I find it more uplifting. And my parents used to get upset about the music we listened to when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really used to understand why. And now that I'm a grown up, I finally understand why they did that. Is positive and Christian music keeps your mind in a good place, whereas this other music puts you in the past, puts you in a dark place, maybe in a place you shouldn't have been in the first place.
Right.
Kind of takes you back and makes you think of things, and I didn't understand that, but it was putting thoughts in my brain. And I realized now that I'm older that if I listen to my Christian music, and I have some that's slow and I have some that's upbeat, and a lot of it is very modern. There's a few old songs, but a lot of it is very modern Christian music, like Hillsong and Lauren Daigle, things like that.
Yeah, so before I came to the Lord, and my sister can attest to this, U2 was my favorite band. Saw them, I can't count how many times I saw U2. And I just, what's sad is I just don't listen to them anymore. That's what's sad about it. But I'm a huge fan, Neil Diamond and John Denver. I love me some Neil Diamond and John Denver. And anytime I'll put it on YouTube and just pull up some songs and just sit there and just sing along with them.
I like some good old 80s music, just like, you're on a car trip, and hubby and I were born in the same year. So we grew up with the same kind of music. Now he had a dad that was in the military. So he's an Air Force brat. So he grew up in England part of the time. So he knows a little bit of that music that I don't know, but a lot of our stuff is the same. But yeah, there's a little bit of England mixed in there too, because he lived. He was in high school when they lived in England. So,
Yeah.
And Heather wants to know if you played any instruments.
Actually, I used to play the clarinet.
Oh,
That's it. That's it. That was back in elementary school.
I only have one instrument that I play, and that's my voice.
Nice. I always wanted to learn how to play something maybe like a guitar or the piano. And I'm still young enough, I could probably try, right?
Yeah, I could if I had someone that could teach me, maybe.
Right.
I'd have to have someone that could physically teach me.
Right. Can you turn the light on just a little bit for me? There, perfect. Thank you. That's my hubby. Hubby's coming to get us supper. He's been working.
Yeah. My hubby walked in while we were talking and stuff too. Matter of fact, he must have been listening. Like at the very end of the day, he works in shipping and receiving area. He receives in stuff for a company. And so he has to be there later than other people. So at the last part, he's kind of by himself. So he might call or text or, do something while he's waiting for a truck, So at the end of the day, he might have been at work and had it on play or something. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if I had anything else I was going to ask you. For the Garden Tour Club collaboration, there is a monthly giveaway. So the March winner was Matt's Garage 1791. There's 2 prizes for April, 2 for May, 2 for June, 3 for July, and 2 for August. So there's at the end of the month, I'll do like if there's 2, I'll draw from 2 different videos. So to win a prize for April, you'll go to the Garden Tour playlist for April. So each month is going to have its own playlist. So I'll have to think, okay, this is the end of the month. Like your video was on Easter. So I was trying to decide if you were March or you were April, but I think you were on the 31st. So I left you in March.
Heather has a lot of questions for me.
I know she's full of the questions.
So Heather, I used to make my skirts because I only wear dresses now. But before I switched over to dresses, I used to do skirts, and I did sew my skirts. I know how to sew. So yeah. Now my dresses, somebody makes them for me because I can't figure out a certain part of the pattern.
Good question.
Even though it's been explained to me many times, I don't know. It just doesn't stick with me.
Do you have any questions for me, Tina?
Let me just say, hey, Cher, just go and get your link to your channel and tell us treasure and post your link up there. It's no big, or if another mod could do it for her, that'd be great.
Or me.
Hey, Taz, how are you?
Good.
See, Joe, Gail's husband comes on. Come say hi to all my friends.
He likes to sneak in every once in a while.
Yeah. Here comes my husband. He's going to come see. There's Taz, Gail's husband.
Hi.
How are you? Hey, doing good.
This is Joe, my husband, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
So thank you for dropping in.
Thanks for dinner.
Yeah.
He makes a cameo appearance every once in a while.
Hey, Cher. My sister's like, hey, guys. Gosh, you know what? When I get put on the spot about asking questions, my mind draws a blank. And then
Oh, that's okay.
And then I'll think about it.
I've been doing that ever since I started this series, Get to Know Them with Gail. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I ask that. Sometimes I'll tell the people ahead of time that I'm going to ask them that, so they'll have a question ready. Other times I just ask them and they don't know it's coming, but I've gotten some doozies of questions. I'm like, whoa, they're like, whoa, okay.
Well, so how long have you been canning then? You said you're new.
I have a pressure canner. I have a water bath canner pan thingy. But I kind of like put it down and didn't pick it back up. So that's one of the things I need.
So we're going to do a collaboration. Are you
No,
scared? Are you scared about the pressure
I'm
canner?
a little scared of the pressure canner. I'm not really scared of the water bath canning.
So you know what's really funny is I actually got rid of my water bath canner because I will just use the pressure canner to water bath in without sealing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So less I plus it was getting very thin on the bottom, to be honest with you. And I'm like, the last thing I need is for this to like totally break on the stove.
I'll be completely honest with you. I think my pressure canner has been used like twice.
You know what, Gail? I used to be that way too. I'm not afraid to use it now. I understand how to use it. It's
I
not.
would have to actually dust it because it's been that long.
So I think a collaboration will be pressure canning.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be forced to do it.
Okay.
We'll teach you how to do it with confidence. You'll have confidence in doing it. I did break down and bought myself one of the electric pressure canners where I just push the button and let it go.
That's my husband. He goes by Taz on YouTube.
Yep. So that's really great. So, but yeah, I will help you with pressure canning. It is fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share. I was too scared to even walk by that thing when she would use it. And,
the pressure canner?
yeah.
Well, actually, I made my husband be with me when I used it because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to shut it or open it. I didn't want to do it during the day when he was like at work. I wanted to do it like at night or on the weekend when he was here.
Yep.
No, it is too hard to put it down that thing. So.
No, it's amazing and it's pretty easy.
Yeah, you know? Once you get the hang of it and have that confidence, Gail, trust me.
If you practice, you get better at it, you know.
You do. And you'll be able to can stuff. Like I canned chicken for the first time last year, and it's better than the chicken out of the store, right? Like the canned chicken. And I can take that chicken, it's already cooked, shred it up and make tacos, burritos, or use it in any other dish, say like a pasta, a chicken tetrazzini, which I've done before. So yeah, it's really good.
Don't forget the potatoes.
Yep.
Potatoes, yeah.
Yeah. I'll help you with it. I would be more than happy to help you with that.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Little motivation. Sometimes that's all you need is a little motivation.
Jan's like, heck yeah. Are you heck yeah? And at I know, Susan, it is. Yeah. Can water in your pressure canner. Oh, I haven't done that, Susan.
Like they say to do that as a practice.
Yeah. It's, you know what? It's just that initial fear. Like for me, my first time I did it, I was scared. It took me a really long time. Don't bark. Don't make him bark. Go get him. My son just walked in and his dog didn't hear him. And he goes crazy. But the first time that I did, I canned applesauce. And I was very concerned because everything I had read, like you shouldn't pressure can on a glass top stove. Well, that's all I have here. So, hey, Bushcraft family. So I went against everybody saying not to can on it and canned because I know that you can. And I think this one you can. So, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have several things I want to can. I'd like to be able to can something that could be like a meal prep, like a soup or
yes.
I have done water bath canning for apple
pie,
like apple pie filling. I did apple pie filling and tomatoes, and then with the pressure canner, I did pinto beans.
Yes, So I just canned 7 quarts of kidney beans, actually, not that long ago. So that's my goal. I have more to can. I have more pinto beans, but I'm actually going to use those because I have my lettuce for the From Store to Garden tour from Blackberry Rock collaboration. And then I'm going to try and plant pinto beans that I have from the store and the kidney beans from the store. You should be able to, if you soak them for 24 hours, you should be able to plant them and they should be able to germinate and you should be able to get beans out of there. But I do have beans to, somebody asked a question about loofah.
Oh.
So I have Haas. That's who I have my loofah plant from, our seeds. And it says yours to plant after the last frost in your area, a half an inch, 8 to 12 inches apart. Row spacing is 12 to 18 inches, and it takes 50 days to maturity. So I'm right on target with that. And I'll try. And Jan, if you want a couple of these, I have these, and I have some other ones as well too. So you have my number, Jan.
I wasn't concerned. I wasn't going to plant loofah this year, but Ryan from Heavenly Hills Homestead sent me some loofah seeds, and he said maybe your loofah seeds are too old. So I did plant some loofah, and at least one of them is up. So I showed that in my garden tour video.
Well, so, my goal for these, because one, I've never grown them, but my goal is to grow them and then use them. So loofah is like a scrubby, like you would use in your shower, or you can use it as a sponge, whatever. But my goal is to do this and do the melt and pour soaps into the loofah when I cut it and give it as gifts, which I thought would be really pretty. We'll see if it works.
That would be awesome. I would love to do something like that too.
Who just said you should can your own? Well, I don't can my refried beans. I just can the pinto beans and then turn them into refried beans.
Refried beans. So that's what she's saying. She wants to can refried beans.
Yeah, I haven't done those. I just can the beans and then.
She does dilly beans. I've seen her do dilly beans.
Okay.
Which are some kind of spicy beans. I don't know.
You're welcome. So today,
hope they grow well for you, Karma.
Yeah, you know what? I have a feeling I'm gonna have overstarted seeds. That's all I'm gonna say, folks.
Caitlin, welcome in.
I went out to check my seeds. Yeah, I really like them, Bushcraft family. He was saying Haas Tools is a great seed company, and so far, I'm liking them. I forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying.
And I was paying attention to make sure I wasn't missing anything in the comment section.
Jan, thank you. You're going to have to message me your home address, and I will send you that.
I'm hoping to be able to use some of the flower petals in my soap making this summer. So I've kind of dropped off of making them for right now. But I want to start back. I really like the melt and pour. It's really easy. I do still want to try the cold process soap, but the melt and pour is so easy. And I actually did sell a few bars of it, believe it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking of going out to my yard. I'm starting to get some dandelions, and I was going to pick those, wash them, and then dehydrate them and use them for soap. I have that with my marigolds for last year, but I haven't made any soap recently. I've always done the melt and pour, but I actually want to do the other one with the lye. And Lisa over at Yogi Hollow Farm, she has a really, really great, easy video to follow on soap making.
Yeah,
so
they
did an open collab, her and Tammy over at Mountain Grandma, called Soapy September.
I joined it like late. It was like November because I was waiting to get all the items together to be able to do it. And family members bought me stuff at Christmas time to go with the soap making. So, and they didn't really know what kind of soap to buy. So a lot of them ended up being soap bases, which is fine. So one of them was goat's milk. So I tried that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't done this one yet, but my mom purchased a kit that was like a oatmeal.
Yeah, I saw that at Hobby Lobby. I saw the oatmeal one.
Yeah, she bought like a kit, so I need to do that one next. And I thought that would be really good with like vanilla, maybe like vanilla and oatmeal.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
but yeah. So, friends, I appreciate you, Gail. Thank you so much for having me over on this channel. This was a good talk tonight.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Thank you for all the questions. For those who asked questions. Tomorrow, Gail and I will be live on Broken Heart Ministry and on my channel, Life in the Piedmont. We have a special guest coming in for the first hour, and her name is Blue Self-Reliance. And she's from the UK, and we're going to get to know Blue and some of the things. I've learned a couple of new things about Blue, so I'm excited to talk with her and learn a little bit more about her. And that's at 2:30 Eastern time tomorrow.
I have to do a little in the morning. I'll have to wake up and watch several videos. That's how I like. If I don't know a channel really well, like on yours, I didn't have to do that because I know enough about you to know what to ask. But but sometimes when I don't know a channel really, really well, I basically do a channel review. Decide what I want to ask them. Or maybe something very specific about a recipe or something they've done on their channel.
Yeah. And then after Blue is on, then Gail and I will continue the second part of our chat together, where we have some new things that we're going to be doing and talking about. And it should be fun. It's going to be a series of things. And I think it's going to be helpful, hopefully, to everybody. That's the goal, right, Gail? To be helpful to others.
Next week on Tuesday, I'm supposed to have on Butler Family Farm. So please stop by next week, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, to hear the interview with Butler Family Farm. And I believe Grow Big TV. I'm losing my voice. I believe Grow Big TV has an interview tonight, right?
Is that tonight?
Well, it's usually Tuesday and Thursday.
I thought it was Sundays. Oh, that's Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday is Garden State Gardener. Tuesday and Thursday is Grow Big TV.
Okay. See?
So I believe Grow Big TV has an interview tonight. I don't know who he's interviewing at all. But you might go by and check that out.
Yeah, I'll probably pop in for a little bit. The time change, it doesn't get dark here now until almost 8 o'clock. And every night I go out, my chickens won't go to bed. I have to fight with them to get them into bed. So this is fun.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
Thanks, Gail.
On, Tina.
What?
I'm losing my voice right here at the end. I'm losing my voice. I think it's allergies. Thank you for coming on. Thank you guys all for coming in.
Thank you, everybody.
In the live for tonight. Grow Big TV in 1 hour. Go by and check that out. See who he's interviewing for tonight. I'm sorry I wasn't prepared. I don't know who it is, but I'll try to be more prepared next week with the answer.
And thanks to all the moderators. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for taking care of the troll and for putting up links. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody. Be blessed. Bye.
Bye, guys.